Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Friday, the 21st day of August, and this is CTV News. Tonight, fueling inflation. The latest pump increase likely just the beginning, say the experts. Blowback over a proposed wind farm in a rural area. And AI challenges and opportunities, the focus of a cyber conference in our region.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. The price of a liter of gas and diesel soared again overnight in Nova Scotia. It also increased in New Brunswick, but not quite as much. Still, analysts warn these prices will look good compared to what's expected in the weeks ahead. Here's CTV's Jonathan McGuinness.
It's vacation time for Mark London and his wife. The Florida couple are touring the eastern seaboard in their motorhome with diesel at $2.41.6 a liter after a 3-cent a liter hike at midnight. This 280-liter fill-up cost them almost $700.
We knew what they were going to be, so it wasn't too much of a shock. Not happy about it, but it is what it is.
Today's diesel price is the highest since top-ups cost $2.43.7 a liter in early April. With the global economy sending goods by planes, ships, trains, and trucks, high diesel prices means higher prices across the board.
There is nothing that the world needs more than that fuel. Everyone is focused on gasoline, but diesel's the one that moves economies.
Petroleum analyst Dan McTagg anticipates prices will continue to rise as we approach fall and winter, potentially hitting all-time highs across the board.
Gasoline, too, will probably reach its highs. Now, we haven't seen that just yet, but that's only a matter of time as we continue to see a re-escalation in prices.
That's one of the reasons Jordan Conway has ditched his car for his motorcycle.
It costs $11 to fill up my tank in my motorcycle, and I can go approximately 160 kilometers.
That's one way to cut costs as motorists prepare to dish out more at the pumps. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Enfield, Nova Scotia.
Well, the new U.S. tariff deadline is fast approaching, about 28 minutes, as a matter of fact. Without a deal, 50% tariffs are set to kick in. New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt once again shying away from weighing in publicly, preferring to wait for details before commenting. Still, some business leaders and residents were sharing their opinions today. CTV's Anna Mandan spoke with them.
Potential U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods would hit New Brunswick's forestry sector, one that's already struggling after tariff and duty hikes last year. But for the second day in a row, New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt would not make herself available to CTV for an on-camera interview on tariffs. According to her weekly Facebook video, she's backcountry camping today. Prince Edward Island Premier Rob Lance also did not provide CTV News with an interview by deadline. As for Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston,
the federal government asks you to do something that is good for the country, and you take that and you move forward with it, and that'll certainly be the approach of Nova Scotia.
But the CEO of the Forest Products Association of Canada says the industry is anxiously waiting for a deal after a difficult last year.
It's exactly August of 2025 when we saw our softwood lumber duties go up to 35%, so the hits have kept coming since then.
The threatened 50% tariffs include wood products, but NIBR is hoping the negotiated deal will remove all lumber tariffs introduced in the last year.
I was encouraged that Trade Representative Jameson Greer earlier this week talked about strengthening the North American economy, making North America a manufacturing powerhouse. And that's the kind of language I think we as Canadians can really get behind.
As for residents, there's a lot of support for the federal government.
I think Prime Minister Carney is doing a good job with given what he's working with.
I am proud to be Canadian. I think that they are handling things very well, and I support them 100%.
Don't like the tariffs, don't like Donald.
And they say even if U.S. liquor bans are removed, they won't partake.
I would not be buying American liquor. I don't buy American products now if I can help it.
As the province and the country watches and waits for news of a trade deal. Anna Mandan, CTV News, Fredericton.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
38-year-old educational assistant at an elementary school in PEI is tonight facing assault charges. Police in Kensington say the charges follow an investigation involving an 8-year-old student. The accused, a woman from that community, is facing 3 counts of assault, 1 of assault with a weapon, and 3 of assault causing bodily harm. Police say she is an EA at Queen Elizabeth Elementary School in Kensington. Her name, though, not being released to protect the identity of the alleged victim. 14-year-old boy has died after his dirt bike collided with a truck in Medwick, New Brunswick. Police say the boy failed to stop at an intersection and collided with the pickup truck. This happened over the noon hour. The victim from Harton Settlement died at the scene. The driver of the truck was not injured. A Halifax mother is fighting to save a memorial to her son who died in a roadside collision. Now, local laws are forcing her to remove the site, which she says brings her comfort. CTV's Jesse Thomas has that story tonight.
2 boots filled with flowers, a tribute to Brody Shaw, a commercial fisherman who died after his vehicle collided with a hydro pole in February 2024. His boots were placed here not long after the crash.
We were cleaning up from the accident and they stuck his boots in the snowbank by the pole, and then someone started putting flowers in the boots. So it was touching to me because Birdie lived in rubber boots and he always brought me flowers.
His mother comes here about once a week to pause and reflect and to remember her son who was just 23. Brody's siblings and friends often do the same.
Yeah, my daughter definitely comes down and she prays. I've watched her pray. My older son comes down when he's really missing his brother.
But this week, Partington received an email about the Roadside Memorial from the neighborhood's homeowners association, asking whether they or she could remove the boots, and reminding her of the municipal bylaw that passed in 2021 that puts a 24-month limit on roadside memorials. The Glen Arbor Homeowners Association president declined an on-camera interview, but told CTV News 2 homeowners raised concerns about the roadside memorial at this year's AGM. He says the association is only following HRM's policy, which limits roadside memorials to 2 years, and that they've given Partington additional time to remove it. Partington says she will ultimately follow the rules, but doesn't agree with the 2-year limit on how long a family can honor a loved one.
You cannot put a timeline on grief. There is no timeline. Grief will last forever and ever, especially when you lose a child. And I don't really agree with the bylaw.
Partington has turned her grief into action and created a charity in Brody's name, raising money for people and causes.
He's always said, go big or go home. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to honor him until I take my last breath. And I think he would be very proud of me.
Partington has started a petition to keep the memorial in place, but says that the boots have to go. It'll be her that removes them. Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Hammonds Plains, Nova Scotia.
Police in St. John say a recent enforcement sting uncovered a number of unsafe taxi cabs and drivers without valid taxi licenses all around the port city. Force says it inspected 31 cabs in all. 2 drivers didn't have valid taxi licenses. 18 vehicles failed on-the-spot inspections and were immediately taken out of service. Another 8 were towed because of safety-related problems. Police say they'll continue to conduct targeted traffic enforcement throughout the port city. There is some blowback over a proposed wind farm near Sussex, New Brunswick. People in the area are fighting what would be a 42-turbine farm. They say all of this flies in the face of a plan that was finalized back in 2022 to help preserve their rural lifestyles. CTV's Avery McRae has more.
From the top of Poley Mountain, the view of Waterford is peaceful with trees and farmers' fields as far as the eye can see. But off in the horizon, the winds for the future of this area are changing.
Big concern that people have is that this amendment was done without any public input or public consultations. There's things in it that just won't work in Waterford, and we didn't have any voice or any say.
The 42-turbine project is being done in partnership between Nova Scotia-based Natural Forces and First Nations Group. They would be built on a mix of Crown land and people's private properties. Resident Marianne Coleman says the amendments would allow for wind turbines to be built in the bulk of the Waterford area.
It's hard to believe that democracy has got to this point where, even though it's our rural plan developed here, we have absolutely no say. In March, Natural Forces, a wind turbine company, asked the Regional Service Commission to make an amendment to the plan. The Regional Service Commission staff is actually contracted out to Dillon Consulting. Dillon Consulting also has contracts with Natural Forces. So Dillon Consulting is who wrote this amendment.
Residents are asking the minister to reject any amendments until a proper consultation with the public occurs. In an email to CTV, Department of Local Government spokesperson Vicky Lutz says no amendments to the plan are currently before the minister for consideration. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
A teenager in southwest Nova Scotia has left her mark in the tuna fishing history books.
I was just thinking, how did I do that? Because I never thought I'd be able to do something like that.
13-year-old Delyn Jacquard there talking about her experience competing in the annual Wedgeport Tuna Tournament and Festival. Her big catch right there, 711-pound bluefin, making her the pending junior female angler world record holder. Previous record catch was 618 pounds back in 2014. Delyn says she's blown away by all the support.
The whole community in Wedgeport comes together and like they just help each other out. Even if you're not close friends, you'll always be cheering for someone no matter what. And I just find it brings everyone together, and it's just amazing.
Sure does. The Wedgeport Tournament and Festival will wrap up tomorrow. Great big congratulations to Delyn there. Okay, still to come tonight, your complete forecast with Breanne Foley in for Kaylin Mitchell. And we'll offer some advice on how to deal with anxiety associated with back to school. Coming up next, though, the winds of change.
We have the technology to building the turbines, and the work would be wonderful for Nova Scotia and the Maritimes.
Nova Scotia seeking investment in a plan to make the province a green energy superpower. Details and reaction coming up next.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Hey, if you like to play the $1,000 Minute, get ready, because we're going to start playing it twice every weekday.
7 a.m. and 8 a.m. every weekday starting in September, the $1,000 Minute.
So as we showed you last night, Nova Scotia's premier has been in Alberta lately for an energy conference, pushing the province's power potential. Tim Houston is trying to lure investors needed to establish Nova Scotia as kind of an energy superpower. CTV's Callum Smith has reaction to the idea, which is known as Wind West.
We can all lift each other up, and we can support each other. This is not a competition. We can all support each other, and I think Premier Smith recognizes that.
Houston has been trying to drum up support for Nova Scotia, saying Wind West will make the province an energy superpower. While that push is going west, opposition parties at home agree there's potential for that project, but action is needed.
What I'm not hearing is a real plan to make sure that Nova Scotians have reliable energy, affordable energy, and clean energy.
The concept is good. I believe it's pretty far off, and optimistic to say that it's going to be our economic savior. The transmission is the key piece that's missing here.
Government says it's trying to responsibly develop onshore and offshore oil and natural gas, wind, solar, tidal, and more. Becoming an energy superpower is possible, says Dalhousie University professor Grant Walk. But establishing Canada's first offshore wind development is
going to be expensive. There's no getting around that. Look at Muskrat Falls, how that ballooned in costs for the hydroelectricity. But we need to develop safe, reliable, renewable systems. And we have the technology to building the turbines, and the work would be wonderful for Nova Scotia and the Maritimes.
The first phase of Wind West has been estimated to cost about $60 billion between turbines and transmission lines. Companies pondering Wind West have said 2035 could be the earliest to expect turbines in the water. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Callum. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. Frankly, it's kind of 50-50 on this Friday night. Brianne Foley will explain when we come back. The long-awaited Friday night upon us, 21st day of August. It certainly felt like an August day again, very hot and muggy around here.
Yep, you got it, Bruce. My hair keeps growing as the humidity continues to stick around as well. A good day for Kaylin to take off, though, because it was beautiful in our region, you know. And luckily, Saturday will be as well for the most part. We are going to see some increasing cloud cover. We are going to have some fog to start the day as well. But for the most part, we are going to see sunshine pretty much across the region as we head into Saturday. A few spotty showers here or there, but for the most part, for the day, it's going to stay pretty sunny. But then as the evening approaches, we are going to see this low pressure system start to move into the region, bringing with it, again, some cloud cover as well as significant rainfall pretty much across the board overnight and into Sunday. So if you are looking to get out and about, as you can see through 6 a.m. this morning, we are going to see not a whole lot of rain, but then as we head later into Sunday, we'll start to see an accumulation of rain, and into Sunday evening, that's when we'll see the majority of that rain again sticking around through most of New Brunswick into Prince Edward Island, as well as most of western Nova Scotia, seeing the majority of that. Going to be not so bad of a day over in Cape Breton, however. As we take a look here at our wind gusts, we will start to see those increase as we head later into Saturday. Of course, this low pressure system coming into the region, we are going to see a shift in wind gusts coming from the southeast, and they will continue to pick up as the day progresses. And then, of course, as this low pressure system hangs around, we are going to continue to see some of those winds shifting and gusting as well. Oh, for the day today, however, we are going to see mostly sunny skies, UV index sitting at high. That's going to stay the same over in parts of southern New Brunswick. However, could see again those chance of spotty showers, mostly along that Bay of Fundy coastline. As we head on to Prince Edward Island, 24 degrees across the island, mainly sunny conditions. Again, that UV index sitting at high. Over in Cape Breton, we are going to see mainly sunny skies, but that UV index increases to very high. So if you are getting out and about and using this Saturday as a day to be outside, just make sure you're taking proper sun precautions. Again, into central Nova Scotia, much of the same pretty average type temperatures for this time of year, and that's going to continue over into western parts as well. That very high UV index hanging around. Could see, again, some spotty showers along that Bay of Fundy coastline throughout the day. Taking a look here at our 7-day planner, a few spotty showers for New Brunswick on Saturday afternoon. But the majority of that rain coming Saturday evening into Sunday. We are going to have a chance of showers sticking around for Monday as well, as temperatures dip a little bit with this low pressure system coming through. Much of the same over in Nova Scotia. So Saturday, sunny skies, a high of 23, a low of 17, so not too cool overnight. But then again, that rain comes into the region for Sunday, bringing with it significant rainfall, and we are going to continue to see that into Monday as well, some periods of rainfall there. Over on Prince Edward Island, yep, you got it. Sunny skies for Saturday, and then showers sneak into the region on Sunday. Cooler temperatures and a chance of showers continuing into Monday as well. But the good news is, Bruce, that we do have sun on Saturday, and then it's only here for a couple days before we see some of that sunshine coming back again on Tuesday.
Kind of a nice mixture, actually, right? You don't want too much of anything at this time of year. Okay, thanks, Brianne. We'll take a little break here. Stay with us. More to come.
Megan and Amateur Alex, and home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station, 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Back to school season is exciting, of course, but it can also be kind of overwhelming, bringing up some big emotions. CTV's Emma Convey today explored why anxiety often spikes at this time of year and what families and educators say can be done to support the students.
Shopping. I like to shop, yeah.
And for you?
Definitely like back to school clothes and then getting supplies and stuff.
Despite the fun that comes with prepping for the first day back, for some students, anxiety accompanies it.
I was nervous until I got there today. This morning I woke up, I thought I was going to be sick. I was like, I'm so anxious about this.
Apparently, like, grades are supposed to get harder, so it's just worried about that.
Registered psychologist Dana Lee Bagley says the jitters are common and parents should normalize it.
You can try to connect with people, your friends from school if you haven't seen them before you actually get to school to, again, have a little bit of a reconnection and make that transition a bit easier. You can also start just making, the routine easier, like getting up a little bit earlier every day.
Around the Maritimes today, students say they have their own ways to prepare for the big day.
I got to distract myself with friends, do what I can to not think about it at all.
It's a bunch of people I knew who are students, like, where do I need to go? What do you recommend? Like, what laptops, what gear?
And with the clock counting down on back to class, there's still time for students to put their mental and physical health at the forefront as they prepare to navigate a new school year.
Emma Convey, CTV News.
Thank you, Emma. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, some insight from a cybersecurity conference on AI. First, though, your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Fredericton on this Friday evening. 15 degrees tonight. Brianne Foley tell you how to dress for Saturday morning when we come back. Okay, Saturday morning upon us now. The best way to kick it off, I have found, is with the wake-up weather. Brianne Foley tonight.
Yes, and it's going to be a nice way to wake up today, Bruce, because we are seeing sunshine pretty much across the board. A little bit cooler to start the day up in northern parts of New Brunswick. Could see some spotty showers, but mostly dealing with some fog through the course of the morning before we do see some cloud cover coming into the region. But for the most part, we are seeing sunny skies throughout our Saturday. Bruce?
Thank you, Brianne. Have a good weekend. Well, there's no doubt that AI is a hot topic these days. It is all around us, in fact, whether we like it or not. Industry experts, though, say education is key, as AI was the focus of a cybersecurity summit in Fredericton this week. CTV's Nick Moore takes us there.
It is a group of experts linking up in Fredericton this week to discuss challenges in cybersecurity that are always changing.
We do not do it individually. We have to share our ideas, team up against the threats that are currently present in the landscape. So this is why it's important to meet up, share what they're facing.
AI can spot anomalies in networks faster than traditional trackers, filtering out attacks with more efficiency and learning from those same threats. At the same time, bad actors can use AI to get around or manipulate those very safeguards. Staying on top of it all, a key part of the discussions happening here.
AI and machine learning are used when building cybersecurity solutions. So they're very helpful and needed to build solutions. But at the same time, given the advancement of AI, it also itself becomes a weak link, meaning that it might end up having cybersecurity issues that needs attendance.
With AI becoming more ingrained in our lives and cybersecurity, conferences like these are striving to identify all the ways it can be a hazard and solution. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Nick. We're going to leave it there tonight. That is your late news, and that's it for this week, as a matter of fact. If you joined us late or you'd like another look at any of the stories you've seen tonight, you can always visit us online, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It updates all weekend long, and of course, it is your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. We're going to leave you with the names of all of us here at Bell Media. Have yourself a good night and a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.